Okay. Hi, everyone. Um, Welcome. This session is part of our new professional development series held on Wednesdays at 1. And these are recovery conversations for all our sector professionals like you. Wednesdays at 1 are a partnership between Employment Sector Council and the Workforce Planning and Development Board, and are supported by the City of London as part of its efforts to support community and economic recovery. We have lots of recovery conversations planned from now into the new year, and so we hope to see you at many more of these. So as many of you know, we're partnering with First Work to register Employment Sector Council member organizations and their staff for free LinkedIn Learning licenses. These licenses are paid for by the Ontario Ministry of Labour, Training and Skills Development for our use until the end of March 2022. So this gives us just over 4 months to try and test them out for our own personal and professional development, and to assist us in helping our clients, whether they are learners, job seekers, or employers. Today, we're taking a closer look at LinkedIn Recruiter. This is a platform for job developers and others in similar roles which engage employers. I'd like to introduce you to Jessica Gowers, the Communications Manager at the Workforce Board, who is hosting and recording this session. And our key presenter is Kathleen McLeod. She's First Work's LinkedIn Coordinator for Southwestern Ontario. Kathleen is going to walk us through Recruiter, how to use it, and the ways in which it can help you in your roles. Kathleen?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to show you this tool today. Just a brief note, if you have access to this tool and your employer has already put you on a list to get this recruiter license, you should receive an email from LinkedIn saying to activate this license. You'll need to activate and link it to your LinkedIn profile. In order to have this tool, you have to have a LinkedIn profile to link the tool to. If you have any issues with activating your license or you haven't received that email, you can always reach out to me. My email is just up there, but we can also put that in the chat. But you can also talk to Carol as well. Carol is your point of contact. She is the person that's going to be walking you through all of these things in terms of ESC and the licenses that are provided to ESC so that we can support you and your membership. So you can talk to Carol, you can talk to me, you can talk to both of us, and we will end up getting you the support that you need to get these licenses up and ready to go. So with that, I am going to share my screen and we'll get into some demo walkthroughs of what the tool can do. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll answer those at the end of the session. And make sure that just so that you don't forget something, that you're putting it in there so that we can answer it and you can get those pieces of information from you. Sorry, it's been a long day, so I'm not on my A game. Please forgive me, but we will be very efficient. And if there's any confusion, you just let me know and I can always rephrase it or try a different approach to explain something. So in terms of accessing this tool, once you've activated your license, you will be able to see it connected to your LinkedIn profile here on the top screen, the left or the right side of the top screen here. So you'll click Recruiter and it should bring up the tool. This tool is an outreach tool. It allows you to message anyone on LinkedIn regardless of your connections. As I'm sure some of you know, if you are on LinkedIn right now, you can only message people within a certain degree of connection to you. So this opens it up and allows you to message anyone. It also has amazing features where you can search through and filter people to really get down to the people that you want to be reaching out to. So there's tons of use cases for this tool that we'll get into later on. But just for the purposes of right now, we're going to go through the basic how-tos of navigating and using the tool. So you'll see this when you start out. If you want to do a general search, you can click in this search bar and click Start New Recruiter Search. What this is going to do is bring up this page here with a bunch of features that you can filter along the side. So we can start off with London, Ontario. So when you type in a filter, you want to include everyone that's currently in London, or you can open it up to currently or open to relocate as well, or just open to relocate only. It really depends on what you're looking for. So when we think about outreach, and we think about this tool, you might initially think it's just to hire people into your organization, but this tool can be used in any outreach that you do. So you can outreach to businesses using this tool. You can outreach to people searching for work using this tool. You can outreach for potential speakers or employers that you might want to have at a job fair. So keep that in mind when we're doing these search filters. So let's start with a basic one. We'll do HR specialist, an HR manager, currently in those roles in London. And what this does is bring up everyone with that title on LinkedIn currently in that area. So right now we have a list of 430 people. This list is pretty large. You can go through and you can click into each individual person if you want to see more about what their role is, what their expertise is, if maybe you're looking for someone to come and speak at a pre-employment event, or you're looking for an HR professional to help with that industry pipeline to funnel some of your industry specific program participants into jobs that fit the specific skills that you're working with. You can also use this to just build your list of businesses that you're working with in general. So when you're looking through, you can see how long they've been there. This is essentially their profile, but with a little bit more detail in the back end. You can make notes, set reminders, as well as see any links that you've put on this profile. You can also message each individual person or mass message people as well. And when you're messaging using Recruiter, it goes to the Recruiter in-mail section, and I'll show you where that is. But there are also some spam protection pieces as well, because they don't want you to just go in and spam all 420 people. And so there is a percentage of people that have to engage with you in order for you to continue to have that mass mail option. So engaging in a message where you have kind of a template, you've kind of worked through some of the bugs of your message, it's engaging, it's quick, it's short, and there is a call to action for them to accept the message, for them to respond to you, or for them to decline the message if they don't want you to email them again. And that gives you that engagement that you need. So that's part of that message that you'll compose. There needs to be 13% engagement of all of the messages that you send out. So if you send out a message to 100 people, then you need to have at least 13 people either accept, deny, or reply to your message in order for you to be able to keep messaging people in a mass capacity. You can also click and add a flyer as well. So you can add a job description in there, you can add a flyer, you can add any sort of related organization information you think would be helpful. And that can be sent with this initial email. So you could send out an email to set up a time to meet with this person, to have a presentation on maybe ways that you can support them in their hiring practices or in retention. And then you could also use this as a way to potentially reach out to source for positions that employers have come to you with, but you don't have job seekers to fill those roles. So that is another way that I'll show you just now. So 1 second, I'm getting ahead of myself just a little bit. I want to show you the mass messaging option here. So you can click as many people as you want to message, or you can click all 25. It's 25 at a time that you can message in a bulk message. And you would message that way. You would click the template or compose the message that you want to send. You can also create a project as well to house all of these people. So you have the list of everyone that you've contacted and can keep track of what they have responded to you, what you've kind of engaged them with, and you can go back to that and use that for reference. But let's go do another search while we're here, and then I'll show you how to create a project after we do some searches. So another option is to put unemployed. A lot of people don't realize that if you put unemployed in that first line of your LinkedIn profile, then you're able to be searched in this way. So that line could look like looking for new opportunities. It could look like unemployed. It could look like seeking a job or unemployed at this time. And this is a way for you to look at people who you might be able to source. So 813 people in London, sorry, you can see the breakdown of kind of a little bit more details when you click that, but you can see that there's 813 results from this search alone, and then we can go in and we can filter. So let's say you want someone with construction background. Now we filtered it down to 22 of these unemployed people. So you can go through and see the different types of experience. So this person has experience as a regional maintenance associate at Timber Creek and property services. So a lot of property service experience, and they're looking for a new experience doing property management. This person has quality control manager experience, and they're highly educated, as you can see, a technologist, as well as Air Force mechanic. So that's another great candidate for maybe a position that's harder to fill. So you can go through, and I'm not sure why it's not loading right now. I've used my computer quite a lot. We had a training earlier today, and so it might be on overdrive here today. There we go. You can see maintenance, painter, new construction experience. And so you can use this to really go in, make notes, and help to source for some of those roles that are harder to fill, that you have employers that need filling. You can also go in, and if you're looking for mentors, you have a mentorship program, or you are working with newcomers and you want to connect them with people in the field, you can also go in and look at specific industries. Let's say IT. And we want someone who's maybe graduated recently. So let's say we want to change this to someone who's graduated between 2015, 2020. That narrows it down a little bit more. We can also put some companies in there. Maybe there's a company that someone has listed as a company that they really want to get into. Let's say IBM. That filters down. Maybe you want to look in and see if they have experience in similar fields that the person you want to connect them to has, and then you can send out a message just talking about the mentorship program that you're working with or that you're working on, the opportunities for mentorship, how this will benefit them, what types of information this mentee is looking to have, and then see if they might be interested. That's another way that you could potentially use the skills or use this filter. You can always go up here. There's the little trash thing here. You can click the trash bar and it clears all of these filters. You can go in. Oh, there's quite a bit of questions, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. So we'll go to the home page again. So this is, when you click Recruiter, you'll see the home page and you'll see projects that you've created. We'll create a new one right now. So we'll create a project called ESC Job Developers. We're going to create this project. And then we're going to do a talent pool search. Let's search for small business owners. Currently in the role. All right, let's see what this brings up. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of information. As you can see, it's 6.9 thousand results. So let's filter that down a little bit more. Let's say we want small business owners in the let's say hospitality industry. Here, that gives you a list of 70 people. You can see the different businesses that these people are owners of. You can reach out to them again for partnership. You can also click in and get more information like I showed you before, and then decide, okay, Natalie is someone that we want to add to our pipeline. So we're going to click Natalie, we're going to click John because he looks like he would be very promising as a caterer. He might need some help. We've got a cleaning owner. So let's move these people over to our pipeline. So we're gonna save those. And then as you can see, you can change their status. So once you message them, you can change their status to contacted and replied. So when you go in to your pipeline, you'll see the list. And for the purposes of demonstration, let's change a couple people's statuses here. So we've messaged Tracy, so she's been contacted. And this person has decided, John has decided he's not interested. Let's archive him. So he's no longer on our list. And then along the side, you can start to see where people fall within this group. So you can see when you've created a list, how many people have been contacted, how many people you still have to contact out of this list, and how many people have replied to you. the replied category automatically filters over. So as soon as you get a message in the message section here, in the inbox, it will automatically change the status to be replied. So this is my message inbox. As you can see a difference in the different types of replies that you can get. So when someone accepts your reply, you'll see this message, but you can also see, let me try and find a declined message for you as well. You'll see this when someone has declined your message. Messages go to their LinkedIn messaging place, but then they also get an email as well. So it's two different ways that they can receive this email, and they can reply back from their email, and they can reply back from their LinkedIn messaging as well. This is actually a really good thing. If they're declining your message, that's still engagement. That's still going to help you to keep those rates up. And then you know that this person doesn't want to hear any more about the things that you're talking about, and you can move on. For those that don't decline, you can continue to tailor your message and send that out to different people, to them in a different way that might be more engaging. Or you can start a new search and start adding new people that will come up as uncontacted, and you can filter them out and start messaging those people instead. So that's kind of the basics of how to use the tools. So let's get into some of these questions, and we can start going from there. So we've got, is it possible to get that sample message sent to us? So every message should be different and unique based on your organization. I have a couple templates I've made from my use of the recruiter tool. I've used it to recruit for our Online Together and Launchpad programs, specifically targeting employment service providers and asking them if they would be interested in registering for the program. So that was my template for that. I can share with you the template that I use if you would like to see that as a starting off point. And we can even talk through some of the ways that we can craft those messages really well so that people are more likely to respond to you if that's something that you find useful. Does it tell people we have viewed their profile when searching and reviewing profiles? So in some instances, it will show up as recruiter because you're using the recruiter tool. So when you're on LinkedIn, you can see kind of the breakdown of the roles that people are using when they're looking at those profiles. And so when you sign on to Recruiter, you will be asked to put in your title, and that's the title that will show up. They won't show up as you viewing it, just the title of the person that's viewing it. If that makes sense. Yes. So the types of messages that tend to get responses are ones that are catered to the individual and the circumstance, so that they show you have read their profile, that you understand what their role is, and you're trying to connect with them personally. So putting in some of those key details about the individual can be really helpful to get those replies back if you're doing it one-on-one. And then when you're going through and you're creating those project lists, it's really important that you take the time to just go through and really make sure that they're people that you should be reaching out to. Because sometimes they'll slip in someone that maybe doesn't quite match what your search is. And out of 100, 300 people, it's important to catch those, because you want to make sure that you're using your time in the best possible way. When you think about outreach in general, and I used to work in employment services, I was an employment facilitator. Outreach is one of the things that takes the longest time, because when you're trying to find someone new that you don't have a connection with, you're emailing people who are maybe in the organization trying to figure out who's the best person to contact. You're looking on websites to try to find directories. You're going on to LinkedIn to try to see even just the name of someone. And so all of that can take a lot of work. And this tool is amazing because it takes a lot of that that investigative work and makes it very simple and easy. Can I look for business name? So when you're doing a search, you can look up people within businesses. So when you look up a company, does anyone have a company in London that we want to do a search on? If you want to put it in the chat, and I can show you what will pop up. Start.ca. Wonderful. Okay. So within start.ca, we have 171 results of people that have come up. We've put current, so it's everyone who has start.ca in that first line of their experience. So we have Greg Shaw, Loretta, Steve, Emily. So we can go in and we can filter again by title. So if you're looking for someone at start.ca who's in an HR role, or maybe they're an HR manager, we can filter down and see 2 results out of those 170. So this is Karen L. Beam, who's a fairly new talent management partner, or we've got HR manager from 2016 to present. So she's been there for quite a while. Angela's there. So that's how you could filter just by job itself, by company itself, sorry, and then filter by some of these other features. Can jobs developers and employment specialists use Recruiter to help employers to post jobs on LinkedIn? That's a great question, Carol. Unfortunately, with this contract, the job post section is not going to be free. We are trying to put through a renewal of the contract, and in that renewal we are hoping to be able to add this feature in if we end up getting that renewal. So it might be an option in the future, but as of right now, if you want to post a job on LinkedIn, you do have to pay for jobs slots. And if you're using the tools and you're finding that they're really useful and you have a lot of really great use cases and success stories that you can send us, that will help us to be able to leverage those stories for those features in the future. Do we have any other questions or any other things that you think you want to see searched? We can do a couple searches if you want to go through some right now. Anybody have a situation that you might be interested in using the tool, and we can figure out how to filter through and get the list of people that you would need? Can you search by age? Paystone HR manager. So unfortunately, you can't filter by age. You can filter by year of graduation. So if you want a recent grad for an entry-level position, then you could potentially filter that way and then filter by the school that you're interested in. So that would be the only option, but because of some of the age discrimination that happens in recruitment, they don't have that filter, unfortunately. Let's do, okay. Jeremy McCall, my program is 30 plus. So what you could potentially do, I am 30. So let's go by my graduation year, which was 2012. And let's do from 1990 to 2012. And then we can filter by location. And then you're guaranteed to have people at least within that age range when you filter by graduation year that way. You can also go into spotlights and click open to work, as well as most likely to respond. And that takes the list down. And a lot of these are not unemployed people, they're people who would be interested in changing positions if the right opportunity came along, right? So if you were looking to try to persuade someone into a new role, this is a search that you could do. One of the other really amazing ways that you can use this is if a talent pool is very small in your area, you're finding that there's not a really large desire for people in your town to do a certain thing, but there's a need, you can search for people in those positions in other parts of Ontario and encourage them to relocate for the position that you're offering. So you can open up your search to not just people in London, but you can put Ontario, and maybe you're looking for a chemist. Then you can see all of the people in Ontario, and I put current and past because maybe they want to get back into the field. This is, again, something that you can think about whether you want it to be current or past. And you can go through and see what types of experience they have, and then reach out to them with the job description that you're trying to fill and see if someone is interested in relocating. Maybe they are currently unemployed and they have a gap in their profile, and that would be a great in to kind of talk through getting them into a job interview for that position. So we had another one, Paystone HR Manager. So let's do that. Companies. Paystone. And then we'll put current. Oh, so the other part of this is that if that person is not on LinkedIn, then they won't show up in the search, unfortunately. So there are limitations. It is just a tool. It's not the end all be all, but there are, okay, let's see what comes up when we put just Paystone. Okay. Maybe their title is different than what we would expect. That could potentially be it. It's so this person is Vice President of People Experience at Paystone. People experience sounds to me like HR. I don't know about you, but that seems to be the closest that you might get. And because he's so high up, that might be a really great opportunity for Agata. So it's a woman. Let's look at her profile. So she doesn't have too much information on there. She has experience in HR, so it's probably just that her title is a little different than what we would normally expect. So I would assume this is your contact. Do we have anyone else who has anything that we would like to try while we're here? I know we're almost at the end of the program, and I don't want to keep you if we don't have any questions, but I'm here to help walk through some scenarios. So if you'd like, we can. Okay. Hopefully this has given you a good indication of how to use this outreach tool, and you feel confident using it yourself. If you have any areas of confusion or questions, or you want help to brainstorm some possible options of people that you could look up, then we're always here to help. And I really hope that you have a great day.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Before everybody goes, we just ask that you complete this very quick little poll. It's just 2 questions, just to see how you enjoyed the program. And we hope to bring you all back in the new year to compare notes about how you're using Recruiter. So you'll see lots of promotion around that from Carol. So always feel free to share and get your input in there. And thank you so much. Have a great day.
No one seems to do the poll.
Oh, really? It doesn't see, you guys can't see it?
No.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. I was like, oh no, was it not helpful?
No, 2 more than last time. Is there for me, there's 1 more person here, but they don't have a name or anything. Does anybody else see that? No, there's just the 3 of us.
Oh, Debbie Dupree?
There we go.
Oh, she's gone.
I always feel bad having to kick people out when I'm like, get out.
It's especially when you're not actually in charge. Like I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna ask Sheila to mute. I'm like, mute. Oh, right. I'm not. It's not my meeting.
So awkward.
What were your thoughts? Was that okay?
I loved it. I think, yeah, it was great. Yeah, people, this seems really useful for them. So thank you. And I can't wait for them to get all their, to start trying it out. And because, yeah, I mean, there's lots of motivated people in our sector, as you well know, but job developers have a special breed unto themselves, right? So, you give them a task and it's like, okay, tell us, what would you keep? what are you using, they will absolutely, totally share their experience. So I look forward to giving them sort of like the holiday break to test it all out.
Yeah.
I was busy trying to search things and so forth. So I have to admit, I was kind of back and forth going, oh, that's, yeah. So I found it useful. Thank you. And for sure, we will, as a network, compile, the great to have features, and when you're getting to that point, when you are, trying to figure out, can we ask for more? Please let us know, because we always have great ideas on more stuff.
Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, I've got to hop onto a team call. So I will see you both next week.
Yep. And Carol, I'll make sure I send it to you just like last week, okay?
Sure. Thank you so much.
No problem. See you guys next week.
I saw Bashir or Emilian had sent a quick email, so I'll get back to you on that one too.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. No rush.
Thank you. Thanks, Kathleen. Have a good afternoon.
Bye. 1 second. Was I sharing my whole screen? Could you see my Teams chat or just LinkedIn?
No. Just LinkedIn.
No? Okay.
Just LinkedIn. Don't worry.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.